Hello everyone. Welcome back for a spooky October predictions video. Today we are going to find out what is coming for you in just life in October, as well as love, money, career, anything that you want to know about. So if you are new to these pick a card videos, this is pile 1, 2, and 3, and just kind of sit and meditate for a moment and see which one is kind of sticking out to you a little bit. The way that I do it is I kind of imagine myself picking a pile, and then if I feel as though there's a pile that I kind of left out, then I might need to choose that one, or I might have messages in both piles. So feel free to watch more than one if you're feeling a little bit torn. Also, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if things resonate, and come back for more readings every single month. So let's go ahead and add crystals just in case that helps you make your decision. Timestamps are below if you already know. All right, we now have some pyrite, some cave calcite, looks like aragonite, but it's very similar, and then opal. So go ahead and choose whichever one is standing out to you. Take your time, meditate, and I will see you at your timestamp below for your reading. All right, group number 1, you picked the pyrite. Let's see what is in store for you this October. All right, so you have the 8 of Wands and the 3 of Cups right off the bat. So this is interesting. I feel a really peaceful vibe right away just from these cards. Let's get some more just to kind of see what's going on for you this October. But what I'm sensing is it's been kind of go. And if that resonates with you, definitely let me know in the comments. But already I'm just feeling an overwhelming sense of, oh my goodness, that one like really wanted to come out. Just shook the camera. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll let that settle down. Okay, all right. So what this is telling me, that was quite a lot. What that's telling me here with the 9 of Pentacles is that you have been working incredibly hard. You have really been following a sense of inspiration, and you've kind of been grounding yourself with different people. I think that you may have even perhaps been working so hard. Oh my gosh, we just had another one. Group 1, you really have a strong message here. I think what's been going on is it seems like you may have even had like a falling out, I want to say, with a few friends, but the friendships that have stuck around have really grounded you, and you've really kind of reached new places with them, and you know you can trust them. And then the other thing, and I'm really sensing, is that you have been working really hard, not only in your personal life, but in your career. And I think you've actually kind of had to sacrifice some relationships with people who don't necessarily understand or value where you're going with your work or your inspiration, or you've kind of just had to make that relationship a little bit more casual with them. And what I see here is that that's been really difficult for you. And I'm sensing that, I don't know, you've been kind of dealing with a little bit of heartache here, and you've been trying to kind of bury yourself in work and in other things to kind of get away from that. And I think in October, you're really going to kind of have to finish working through that a little bit. So it's not going to be totally peaceful, but what I'm sensing is that you've gotten through the worst of it, is the message that I'm getting here. And just move these up so you can see these a little bit better, see the beautiful artwork on these. So we've got the 9 of Swords here, which is showing me that you have had so much heartache, but the great news is that it's almost over. Like, you were very close to being able to feel like you can actually say you've worked through this, and not just like shut it away, but like you've actually worked through it, and it is going to make you a better person. Sometimes I take reversals, sometimes I don't, but my deck happens to be really mixed up right now, so I'm not going to take reversals. And so what I'm sensing is, again, the 8 of Wands and the Ace of Swords is just like more strength in yourself and your own ideas and your own inspiration. I'm sensing that people may have put you down in the past, but in October, I think you're really going to feel more comfortable voicing your own opinion in front of people who may have even kind of put you down, or, I don't know, almost made fun of you for your ideas in the past. And they keep falling on the floor because they're like so excited to like come out for this message. So you also have the Ace of Cups here, which is showing me that these ideas that you have and this inspiration, this hard work, and all of this emotional, mental work growth that you have been really putting in the time for is going to, I don't know if you have the idea yet, but there is something that's kind of going to be like a fresh start, and you won't have to feel so emotionally bogged down by all of these things and being concerned for your future is what I'm getting here. Is in October, things are going to, you're still going to be working through some things, but it's going to become more clear, if that makes sense. And I think you're going to kind of be able to rest a little bit and just kind of be thinking about these things, but not have it be so incredibly overwhelming. I'm just really feeling that it has been insanely overwhelming for you the past, I want to say even like 6 months. Like you've had some major life changes and you just really had to kind of put your head down and just keep doing the hard work. Let's see what else we have coming up for you. I think we've kind of gotten like a good overview of maybe what you have been going through. Hopefully this resonates. If not, feel free to pick another pile, because as always, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But if it is resonating with you, let's see what you have in store for the rest of October. Okay. Getting fearless expression, which really goes with kind of these cards here. I'm wondering if, again, perhaps it feels like you've really been almost silenced in your past by something. And it feels like you really, I'm just feeling heaviness in my throat, like you haven't been able to speak your voice. And I think that some of that is still there with you, and you're not sure if like you can reconcile your past self with who you are now, if that makes sense. Let's see. I really like this one that just came out. It was like half out, but I'm going to take it because I feel like it really resonates for this reading. And it says, one step ahead is all you need. And I think that's like a good reminder for all of us, right? Is that sometimes we have these big ideas and they can feel really, really overwhelming. But if you just take one step, then it's a lot less overwhelming and you can really feel like you're making that progress. We have the Death card, which don't freak out. Do not freak out. Whenever anyone gets this, I feel like they're like, oh no, is someone going to die? And that is not the case. What I'm getting here is just that you actually need to accept that you're moving on from one phase of your life to another. You can even see right in here, it says, I am learning that endings are merely beginnings. And this one says, I am learning to accept the things I cannot change. So I think this grief and like this kind of, heartbreak that I was sensing up here is something that I think you felt like you've accepted it and you felt like you have moved past, but there are constant reminders that might keep popping up. And I think that's going to definitely be the case in October, because I think that you're actually going to finally kind of be able to take a deep breath and really separate your past self from who you were to your present self, and really be able to accept that, be able to express yourself, and just know that you don't have to. Here's what I'm feeling. The message that I'm really getting here is that like it's a little bit sad to let that go, and it's hard because you feel like that past part of you has maybe died, like it's a different person. I'm also sensing this could be for some of you, again, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but for some of you, I'm really sensing this could have been a breakup with someone that feels like a death, because it just like they were such a big part of your life and you're trying to figure out who you are outside of that person, or even outside of that job almost, but it feels like it was almost a person here, and they were such a big part of you that you're kind of learning who you are outside of them. We also have the Honesty card, and we have change. So I think, again, maybe you've really just been trying to get through this and kind of put your head down and just figure things out. And I think you've done an amazing job for yourself, but I think just being able to actually take the change and roll with it and not feel so resistant, and be honest with yourself with the feelings that you're feeling, because that's okay. Sometimes I think you've had to kind of put it away just to kind of, I'm sensing a lot of survival mode from you. I think you've had to put things away, and just know that the change is not the end of the world, but it has been in the past. It has been really, really difficult. We also have the shine card. May you be a lighthouse. So I think in this October, you're really going to be stepping into a new place where you are going to shine. You're going to let your voice out. You are going to be who you really are. And I think you're going to let the new people in your life, people who have come in since whatever event happened to you, I'm sensing a few months ago, and you're really going to be beginning. This is so interesting. So may you start as if you have already begun. And I think you have already begun, but maybe you haven't accepted that you have, like this is your new life. And I think the best part of what you've learned out of this whole thing is that yes, life can change on a dime and it can be really scary, but it can also be really exciting because you're living an entirely different life than I think you imagined yourself to be living, like even this time last year. What I'm also seeing is persist. May your ripples build this well. Sorry. And so what I'm seeing here is like, keep going. You've got an incredible message that like you have been working so hard and you're really just building yourself an entirely new life. And I think people around you are starting to see that and they're like, oh, wow. Okay. And I think you're really kind of allowing yourself to come out of hiding mode is really what I'm sensing. Like out of hiding mode, you're allowing yourself to have more fun. And I think this October is really going to be just a fun time for you. We've got believe in the impossible. So even things that, again, I think you're living an entirely different life than what you expected. And that's a great thing because you have so many new possibilities. And again, you're very close to achieving your goal here of just really kind of starting afresh for yourself. And I kind of want to see, again, I was really feeling almost like a breakup message, or like you lost someone, you lost something that you thought was really going to be like a big part of your life. I'm trying to figure out what deck to use over here, because I really kind of want to know what's going on for you in October in your love life. But first, I sort of want to get career. I feel like we've gotten just a really good overall look here, but I really sort of want to get career. Let's see if we can use, let's try Modern Witch. Let's try this deck. All right, what is in store for group number 1 as far as career? Oop, let's see. Okay, I just had a bunch come out here. Let me organize these. Okay, we've got the Ace of Cups. We have the King of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and we have Justice. Okay, so career-wise, it really does feel like you have kind of started over and people are actually starting to recognize your talents and they're starting to give you more responsibilities, it seems like. And with the Justice card, it almost seems like you're doing the exact thing that somebody told you that you once couldn't do, or like they made fun of you for it or something like that. Like this almost, doesn't feel like it's revenge, but it just feels like it's like, that person was really wrong. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting here. And what I'm seeing is like just so many new beginnings, but you're really good at your job already. Like you are taking charge of things and starting new projects and different things like that. And it's just it's kind of a natural path. Like it's more natural than I think perhaps your last career. Again, I'm just sensing like you're really successful, and I'm almost sensing that the person that was in your life or whatever happened, like people were telling you terrible things about yourself. Like people were telling you that you couldn't be successful and different things like that is what I'm really sensing. But I feel like this has given you a new start, like emotionally, you're much more inspired. Your days are just so much better than they were at your previous job. Even though change, I'm still saying this out, change can be really hard. And I feel like you spent quite a lot of time wondering if this is the right path for you, but it definitely seems like it is. All right, now let's go ahead and ask our love deck, our romance angels, what is coming for group number 1 in October in love? What do they need to know? Group number 1, October love. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. So this one's one that doesn't come out too often, but this is what it's telling me here is that I think sometimes religious factors actually means like church or something like that. And sometimes it just means, again, you can kind of see like your upbringing. So you're kind of getting like flashbacks of your upbringing. And I think you're either kind of falling back into things, but in your own way, like in a way that makes sense to you, that's less, I don't know, I'm almost getting oppressive, like things that are meaningful to you spiritually, but that it's not necessarily like organized religion, I'm sensing, in October. Oh my gosh. All right. We have the release your ex card. The time has come to clear your energy. And I really do think that's what that death card was for. It's just that this big change. And I'm sensing also, so these religious factors, it's like you are kind of coming to a place where you feel like you can be spiritual in a way that has meaning to you, and kind of freeing yourself from, like, I don't know, anything that your parents put on you or your ex put on you or other people when you were growing up. And I think you're just kind of finding, it's another factor of finding yourself. And I think it's almost like, this is going to sound funny, but I think this will resonate right with people who need it to resonate. It's almost like you're reevaluating the relationship structures, because those can often be rooted in religion, and like, oh, first you do this, then your next step is this. And what's so weird is we just had a card fall out, but it has literally disappeared, so I don't know where it went. But I feel like you guys heard that, and now the card is nowhere to be found, so I don't know what that was. Maybe it'll come back later. But I feel like you're just freeing yourself of relationship structures that were based in kind of some historical religion. It's a weird one, but I feel like that's going to resonate with people it needs to resonate with. And then releasing your ex, I think, speaks for itself, that, again, you really need to let go. Be a little bit playful in October. And yeah, I do think this one has to do with kind of healing some family issues here. And I'm wondering kind of what has kind of come from the past, and I feel like we're all kind of a reflection of how perhaps we grew up or different things like that. And so I think what you're doing is you're really kind of healing that past piece in a lot of different ways on so many different levels, and kind of allowing yourself to be more playful and recapture romance, allowing yourself to just be kind of playful and youthful, whether that's just like flirting with new people, or whether that is kind of just being playful with the person that you're with and not really feeling a lot of pressure with them. I'm almost sensing that you don't want a lot of pressure, because I'm sensing that you may have had a really serious relationship, or a relationship that it just kind of, a little spooky camera glitch there. But anyway, what I was saying with this one is that you're releasing your ex, and you're also just allowing yourself to be playful and, again, flirt with people, or just not feel pressure with the person that you're with right now, because I think that you have felt that pressure in the past, to kind of like declare what's going on or constantly be taking that next step. And I think that by constantly being forced to take that next step, I'm almost wondering if it like went too far, and like, you know, just things were not good. I'm also getting very soon. So I think that just means that like clarity is going to come very soon for whatever you have kind of been thinking about. I don't know what that is, but I'm sensing there's something that you've really been pondering and thinking about and kind of keeping to yourself. And it has to do with either someone that you are kind of talking to, or it has to do with meeting someone in October possibly, and kind of using that playfulness after you've kind of released these things over here. So I'm definitely sensing things are ramping up for you, because you have been able to really release your past and release kind of what happened to you, release that person that was kind of like, I don't know, almost like a marker in your mind of what you thought was everything. And so you're able to release that, and you're going to be kind of moving forward, even if you feel like things have been stagnant in your love life for a little while. So group number 1, I think overall October is going to be a really good month for you. Just keep going. Don't let yourself get bogged down by things. You are doing fantastic, and I really see you working through a lot of these things. So fantastic job. Group number 1, have a great October. Can't wait to hear if this resonates in the comments. Give it a like if it did, and come back for more readings. I'll see you later. Bye. All right, group number 2. Let's find out what is coming up for you in October. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the Lovers card and the 10 of Pentacles. So group number 2, this instantly bodes well for your love life. Let's find out some more details. And usually I save this deck for last, but I'm actually going to use it first because this is quite exciting. I'm going to use my Romance Angels card. So what does group number 2 need to know about their love life in October? Let's see. what does group 2 need to know? Oops. Okay, interesting. So we've got a lot of different things here that kind of show me that things are actually really kind of working out for you in a lot of different areas. So it seems like perhaps like you are, if you haven't already found them, this person is going to really become a big part of your life in October. And what I'm also seeing is that finances and career are big, obviously, from that card. And I'm getting you deserve love, like perhaps that you've been putting that to the side to kind of make, you know, your work life where you have wanted it to be. But what's interesting here is I'm seeing both love and I'm seeing family and success here with this person who is coming into your life or already is. I think take what resonates and leave what doesn't as far as this goes. And as always, if this pile isn't resonating with you, then feel free to go pick another one or possibly read or watch more than one. But what I'm sensing here is just like things are coming together for you in October. And I'm sensing that you've really, really been working hard. You've really wanted kind of this deep love and this familial love where you're going to be able to share, like, you know, the white picket fence almost with a person. But I think you've been holding out. Ooh, and we just had a card like slide all the way across the floor. But let me go find it. But this says reconciliation. So I almost wonder if you kind of like you or the person that you were with almost had something go on with their business or your career or something like that. That's what I'm sensing, that like you truly, truly, truly had a spark with this person and you could really see a future with them, but you almost didn't feel like things were going to work out because of what was going on. But I'm sensing that maybe things have kind of changed a little bit and it's going to work out this time. It does seem like, ooh, okay. Interesting. It does seem like that there was or is some separation on the horizon, but what I'm sensing is that it's not bad. Like it's something that's just going to help you guys kind of grow on your own or has been helping you grow on your own. I'm really fascinated by this. Group 2, please let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you or give it a like. Tell me what's going on because I love interacting with you in the comments. But what I'm sensing is you guys just had like, I don't know, like a temporary tiff or something where things weren't working out or like somebody didn't have enough time for the other person. And so you kind of like didn't envision this family life working out. And like, although you had a tremendous spark, it wasn't something that you could see logically working out, I guess. Ooh, okay, we also have make the effort. This is interesting. So I'm sensing here that this is something that both of you have still been thinking about. If you are in separation currently, or you're kind of like, you've just come back to each other and you're kind of like, what's going on? Or you're like, is this person going to come back to me? And this is so interesting, group number 2. I kind of love when these things immediately start out with love. I feel like normally they kind of start out with like just a general kind of what's going on. But this almost feels like love is coming back into your life. And again, this one feels really specific. Group 1 felt specific, but like not as specific as this. So if this is not resonating with you right now and you're like, I don't think this is my reading, I would definitely go back to the beginning and choose a different pile and kind of see which one you were secondarily pulled to, because this one feels like this is a very specific message. And what I'm really sensing is like you've had to go through a time where you're like, okay, am I just unlovable? Like, why hasn't this worked out with anyone? Like, I've been working on myself. I've been working on my career. I've been working on myself physically and really trying to like build up your self-esteem, I'm kind of getting. And then I just feel like all of this has been really hard for you when it didn't initially work out due to whatever was going on with, I don't know whose career it was or whose finances, kind of made things a little bit cloudy. And I'm really sensing that there is going to be some reconciliation, but you are going to have to kind of like make a little bit more or a different effort. I don't think you're going to have to concede. That's sort of what I'm feeling, is that you're feeling like, well, I don't want to have to change my expectations, but I don't think it's going to be changing expectations. I think it's reframing how you look at things and communicating better. It seems like there maybe wasn't as much communication as there could have been. Okay, well, I'm feeling like you feel like you communicated quite well enough. but maybe they didn't. But I'm thinking like I'm sensing like this other person doesn't have a lot of experience communicating. Let's see what this one is. So I think you might kind of have to like teach them how to communicate and make the effort in a way that makes sense, but you're gonna have to have more patience than I think that you have had in the past. I'm almost sensing like you're a fire sign, you're an Aries or a Sagittarius, and like you're really like, I think you don't like being vulnerable, but this person made you feel vulnerable and you felt like they could have been the one, but then you kind of like, I don't know, it just seemed like it kind of fell apart a little bit. But it does seem like this has kind of helped you, like this time on your own has kind of helped you with your own purpose. And I think same with them. Like I think that they felt like that little finances situation was really something that they needed to fulfill their purpose and their growth. And although you guys have a tremendous spark, I think that these things are almost more important to both of you, and the separation was a necessary situation. Let's see kind of what is going to happen for you in October. I do see that you're a little bit worried about how this is going to go and like should you even spend your time on this. And what I'm sensing is I do think it's worth it. And I think worry is something you're not perhaps used to, but it's not going to change the outcome. I think what's meant to be is going to be. Anyway, this is interesting. We've got a win-win outcome is in the forest. We got our forecast, the forecast, not forest. And we've got full moon in Libra. I don't know why I said forest. Maybe that was like a subconscious thing. Like, did you guys meet an area that was heavily wooded? I don't know. That may be kind of weird, but perhaps. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. We've got a lot of full moon things here. So a cycle is kind of completing with this person. And I think they are going to kind of come back into your life. And this is so interesting. So we had worry. We have work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. So we've got full moon and all these really good things, and we've got new moon and kind of working through things. And we also have another new moon in Capricorn. Maybe there's some Capricorn in here as well. Your hard work is paying off. So I think they are going to kind of be at a better place in their career where they've realized that things are kind of like, what's the word? Things are not worth sacrificing. Like being perfect in their career is not worth sacrificing you, essentially. And what I am sensing is that I think some people watching perhaps might be thinking about a certain person who was very, very, very toxic. And I think that if you were drawn to like group number 1 or 3, I would go back and watch this one. This one feels like a very balanced relationship where you're both kind of equally going to be invested and you have not deeply hurt each other in the past. It just didn't work. That's what I'm really sensing. So if you have been watching this and you're like, oh my gosh, my ex is coming back, but like they really hurt you and they were really toxic and like dragged you around for a long time, I think this message is not for you. And I really feel like I need to clarify that. This message is really, really, really for people who kind of had something go on with someone. I don't know if it was a full-on relationship. It was just like you met someone and you felt like you immediately felt almost like at home with them and you felt like they were the one, but then things didn't work out and it got very confusing because of somebody's job or finances or attitude towards relationship or something. And it wasn't like a toxic situation. So just wanted to clarify that one. What I am sensing about this pile group number 2 and this person and you is that I think when I said that, when they felt like they were home to you, like they felt very comfortable, I think you're almost a person who, again, this is why I'm feeling like almost like an Aries vibe from you or something, but maybe Capricorn, not sure. It feels like you don't want to believe in like true love almost. So maybe even when like we started with the love deck, it was a lot for you, but like secretly you really do want that love. But I think sometimes you have a hard time being vulnerable and like letting people see that inner part of you because you keep that really hard exterior shell. And so I think being able to kind of believe in true love and believe in like cute things or whatever, or romance is like difficult for you because of what you've been through. But just know that romance is okay to believe in, and it's 100% fine to feel like you're a Disney princess or prince or whatever. And it's okay to have that and be practical at the same time. Like maybe the Disney thing was a little bit overboard, but just know that it's okay. Like you're still going to be seen as someone who is practical and logical and smart and savvy and capable, but you can also kind of have love at the same time. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other, if that makes sense. Okay. I feel like we're done with this deck. Let me grab a different one. Let's see what else we need to know. All right. What else does group number 2 need to know about October? What does group number 2, what messages do we have for them? Ooh, okay. So we have the Magician, which honestly, I think for you really represents like a fresh start and that you are capable of doing whatever you want to do. And if you want to reach back out to this person, I think you can do it, or I think they might, I don't know if you've been like waiting for them to reach back out to you, but honestly, I feel like you have such a spark with them that it's bound to kind of come back at some point. Yeah, I think you've kind of been looking at them from afar, maybe even looking at their social media and being like, okay, or like, you know, what's going on? Like, is anything gonna happen here? And you've kind of been weighing your options and being like, do I want to kind of like go for someone else? Do I want to like go back out into the dating world? I don't know. It feels like you've kind of been at a little bit of a standstill, and you've kind of been weighing your options and kind of trying to listen to your intuition about this. But I feel like with them, you've had kind of just some mixed feelings, and it's been harder for you. Like normally I feel like you can give really sound advice, but it's harder for you to give advice to yourself in this situation. Let's see. What else does group 2 need to know? Maybe even some characteristics about this person. I'm almost sensing who this person is just to give. I think that if this is resonating, you definitely already know that, but just some things to think about. Trying to get an answer for you out of the cards here, but this deck doesn't want to seem to give us much either. Interesting. Okay, let's try this one. Can't really force a message. This one feels, again, like I said, so specific though, group number 2. So if you're still here, please like just leave it a comment and say this resonated. And you don't have to tell me the specific situation, but you can if you want, because I'm responding to everyone. But definitely give this a video a like if you're still here, because this one does feel so specific. This feels like a very powerful connection. Like you feel like a powerful person and they also feel like a very powerful person. Like, I don't know, I'm almost getting like power couple vibes once things are actually working out, but you guys are just gonna have to put in the work to figure it out. You're gonna have to be resilient. You already are. But I think your relationship is going to have to be resilient to different things. And I think like you're going to have to over communicate is really what I'm getting. And you're going to have to release kind of all the things you've been feeling, all the burdens, like all the expectations that you've had. And you're going to have to be a little bit courageous. I'm sensing that this relationship is going to be fantastic, but it's not going to be without effort. And I think all these things can really happen for you in October. Let me see. I feel like it's going to be October. Like these things are really going to be set in motion, but let me see if we can possibly, okay, before I even finished asking the question, what did we get here? Oh my gosh. Okay. This one just flew out when I picked up this deck. The Lovers immediately flew out. The fact that you have this in 2 different decks is pretty wild. So what I'm sensing is this connection, group number 2 and pile number 2, like the pile of union. So in partnership. So essentially it does seem like, I don't know, I was talking about how this was going to happen in October. The Lovers card is the 6th card though. So I'm definitely sensing within the next 6 months. Let's see what this one is. This is going to be like coming to fruition, 6 to 8 months, I think. And also I think like you're going to really find a lot of creativity and you're going to find a lot of like peace in this person is really what I'm sensing. And I think that this is really going to open up a lot of new things for you and a lot of doors within yourself that maybe you kind of had closed off, if that makes sense. So I don't know. I was trying to kind of give you, a more well-rounded reading with different things. But what's funny is it really seemed to always kind of come back to this connection. So Group number 2, please let me know what's kind of going on with this. Give this a like, and I can't wait to kind of hear, like, if something happens in the month of October with this person, and you remember to come back to this video, I would absolutely kind of love to see what's going on in this connection and really see kind of how this plays out, because I think it's going to go really well. But just remember, you are going to have to kind of get out of your comfort zone, and you are going to have to kind of work through some things that have been triggering in the past and over communicate. Okay. All right. Well, this is pretty interesting. Group number 2, thank you so much for letting me do this reading, and I'll see you later. Bye. All right, group number 3. Let's see what is in store for you this October. Okay, I'm sensing, just from seeing these things, is that you are going to be kind of stepping into the limelight a little bit with some new projects, perhaps some new inspiration, and really kind of letting yourself be a little bit more genuine is what I'm seeing here. And we just had a really specific reading in group number 2, a very specific love reading. So we'll definitely get to that for you guys. But here I'm sensing a lot of personal growth so far. I'm sensing that you're going to be getting some recognition for things that I think you've been working really hard on. Excuse me. And this is interesting. So you've got the 6 of Wands and the King of Wands here. So it really feels like you kind of have some creativity flowing in October, and I think you're going to be trying some new and different things. I think there might be some travel. Oop, we have a few different ones coming out here. Some travel involved, just some new projects, like some letting go of the old. We do have the 9 of Cups, so this is interesting. Like you've really kind of reached a new emotional cycle, and we have the Princess of Swords. So it's kind of illuminating, kind of has to do with the Hierophant too, kind of illuminating like these different things that have gone on, and I'm sensing a lot of reflection from you. I'm going to grab some more from the Light Seers just to get a better, like a more specific understanding, because this is an interesting overview, but let's get more specific here. Let's see. What does group 3? Oh, okay. Yeah, you are going to be doing like a lot of reflecting. We've got the Moon as well, kind of trusting your intuition and kind of balancing things. It seems like you're going to have, like, I feel like you're going to almost be like an entirely new person at the end of October than you were in the beginning. Okay. We've got 9 of Pentacles, and we have the Knight of Wands. Okay, so many wands for you. This is interesting. So this one I think is really what I'm kind of getting over here, is I'm sensing that you are kind of releasing some anxiety. Like you're doing some inner work in the month of October where like things have been on your mind and they've really been weighing on you, and almost like weighing you down to the point where you're not sure how to handle it, or it feels like they're kind of drowning you. And I think sometimes you feel like you're okay, and then sometimes it really hits you, almost, is the sense that I'm getting. And it feels like you're going to be really kind of letting these things go. It does feel like this one really feels like something at work, like you're going to be recognized for something that you're like you'll least expect it, like during a meeting or something, they're going to thank you for all of your hard work or something like that. Like, I don't know, it's going to be kind of when you least expect it, kind of a thing. You have been working really, really, really hard and bringing some new ideas to the table that people probably haven't thought about. And then I'm also sensing, I was about to say travel when like all these cards came out. I am sensing that I think you're going to be doing some travel in October, or at the very least planning some travel that I think is going to impact you kind of for the rest of your life almost. You're going to be going somewhere that is going to feel very at home to you, but it's going to change who you are. Let's see. Yeah, I'm sensing, just again, like, look at these 2 cards, look at the imagery here, look at all of these cards. Like there's some here, it's like we've got the weighing down, and then we've got just like all of this kind of like happy, like not all the cards look like this, just so you know, like not all of them look kind of like everybody is just like releasing and feeling all of this joy. So let's get a few more cards from a different deck here. But overall, October feels like a really light month to me, which is funny because I know it's like spooky season and it's like kind of dark weather-wise sometimes, and mood-wise, just because we're focusing on Halloween and all the spooky things. But what I'm really sensing from you is that you're going to have some changes here, but they're like kind of, you see like this imagery, it's kind of like blowing with the wind kind of a situation where it's like things are go with the flow. It's not like changes that are going to make you upset. But we also have sacred mirrors here. We've got 3-3. If you see 3-3 a lot, that could be an interesting symbol. But I was going to say we've also got a few 9s here, like 9, 19, and then 9. So it's interesting to me that it's kind of like, I think that you have kind of learned everything you can learn from this particular cycle, and you're going to kind of be starting some new changes. And maybe even I'm almost sensing like these changes are going to mirror a different time in your life that are going to cause you to be able to kind of, again, reflect and kind of see like, oh, I have really changed. I have really like grown. I've stepped into a lot of things in case you've been feeling really stuck. We also have fierce serenity. So what's interesting to me about this is, again, these changes aren't going to be something that cause you stress. They're going to be really, really, really positive changes. Ooh, and this is interesting. It says, feed your artist. So I think things that make you feel good and things that make you feel creative, things that make you feel like you're helping people are things that you need to feed and keep working on. Let's see what else group number 3 needs to hear for October. It's so interesting, like when I sit down and do these readings, how different every single one is, like how specific they are. And it's so fascinating for me to kind of wonder what it's going to be like for people who are watching this. So that's why I always love it when you guys comment and kind of tell me what is resonating with you. And if this one you feel like is not really resonating with you, then you can always go back and watch a different pile, or you can watch a couple of piles, as I always say, because sometimes not all of your messages are in one. Sometimes they really, really, really resonate, and sometimes you might need a little bit more. But this one is interesting. A new romantic cycle begins. I feel like I get this card a lot, but what's interesting here to me, ooh, and bring love into the situation. I told you we were going to get to this group 3. So I think that some of these changes and some of this travel, honestly, is going to bring new people into your life and bring kind of like a new perspective. I'm sensing like you are going to meet it's either going to be like you just meet this person and it's like, whoa, there we go, I've been kind of looking for you for a while, or you're either going to be kind of brought into like a group of people that is going to get you there. I can't quite tell. Let's see if we can get some more clarity here. It could be both. It could be one for some people, one for the other. But I'm almost sensing it's like you've been waiting for love. Ooh, that one was like really wanted to come out. Interesting. Oh, these are stuck together. Okay. A personal issue reaches resolution. Interesting. Okay. So that could have to do with the changes. Okay. More change. Interesting. And then we also have step out of your comfort zone. Okay. So yeah, what I'm sensing here is like maybe you've been doing the same thing for a while, and I'm just getting from these cards, like you've mastered whatever is going on, if that makes sense. Like you have leveled up enough that things are just kind of coasting for you, and you're ready for something more interesting. Like you're like, okay, come on, I'm ready. I feel like I need to do something. And I think when you feel that need and you kind of feel that itch to like go out and travel and do something, I think you should, mixing up my decks. I think you should definitely go with that, especially because it just seems like you're kind of, I don't know, this October, you're really reaching like we had that 9 of Cups earlier, like you're really reaching kind of the end of a cycle. And now we're getting bring love into the situation. A new romantic cycle begins. Expect powerful change. What I was going to say before is I'm almost sensing like you have been waiting for this person and being like, okay, like when am I ever going to meet someone? Like, am I just going to be, I don't know, kind of on my own for like forever, because it just feels like it's been forever. And this is so funny because this is exactly kind of what I've been talking about here, where it's like you're kind of been waiting for that partnership or inspiration of like your union to strike, and kind of waiting for like your partner in the situation, waiting to kind of expand your life and let them in. And what's so funny is she's like almost holding a cell phone here. So I don't know if you've been on dating apps and you're just kind of been scrolling and being like, I'm not loving these options. And you've really kind of given up a few times and maybe deleted the apps. Maybe you've gone back and forth, but it almost feels like you're going to meet this person and then it's going to kind of feel like, well, what was my life even like before this person? So I think that's kind of the reason why you've had to spend so much time with yourself and kind of being in this reflection period and getting to where you are now, because I think that like life isn't going to be the same after. Oh my goodness, we just had so many cards shoot out. I just feel like life isn't going to be the same after this. Okay, let's see what a few of these are. Yeah, we have 10 of Cups. So we have 9 of Cups and 10 of Cups. So it's almost like you're going to be building your future with this person. And I think what I'm really sensing is you've had some anxiety about this, but you've really had to do some spiritual growth in the process because you haven't been able to find what you were looking for. So you're like, all right, I guess I'll just grow myself and do my own thing. But it definitely seems like you've retreated enough to the point where I think you're about to attract them into your life. And you're kind of just looking at what you've been kind of working on and all that jazz. And I think you're really proud of what you've created for yourself. Like you don't need a person in your life, but I think you're ready to kind of meet them. And what's interesting with the 6 of Wands, you've been getting so many wands. But I think it's like you've been waiting. And then 6 of Wands kind of tells me that like harmony and contentment and the community that you seek is really going to be coming for you in the month of October. Let's see if I can use, which deck should I use to try and get a little timeline? Well, here, let's get a couple more. I feel like I need to use this one a little bit, and then we'll see if we can possibly get any more information. I do feel like this is coming for you probably before the end of the year. Let's see, is there anything else that group 3 needs to know before I ask anything else? These ones are really sticking together. Can't force a message. Sometimes they jump out, sometimes they don't. Ooh, okay. So we've got balance and happiness. Love that for you, group number 3. That you were kind of reaching, that's kind of like what I got from the first couple of cards, is that you're going to be really having more balance and more happiness. And I think you've been really trying to seek happiness on your own. And let's see, let me get the love deck out. And let's see what we can find out about what does group 3 need to know about this bringing love into the situation and the new romantic cycle. What does group 3 need to know? Okay, let's see. Ooh, release your ex. We had this last thing too. And flirt. Okay, so I think that one's just letting go of what happened to you in the past. Like, even if they weren't your ex, they were just like a situationship. I think it's time to let them go. And or maybe this wasn't the last one. Maybe this was, I think this was deck number 1. I can't remember. And I think be more lighthearted. Like I think when you are in your element, people are really drawn to you. So definitely just like do everything like, that has brought you here and kind of use that energy to flirt and be playful, be lighthearted. And I think you're really going to attract people in general and your person into your life. Oh, this is very cute. Worth waiting for. So I think like you've been kind of, again, waiting to see. That one really wanted to come out. And now you're going to have new love. And I think, again, this is going to be like a really fun love story. Like I honestly cannot wait. And I hope that you comment and come back and tell me kind of what has happened, because I can't wait to see kind of how this love story unfolds. Let's see if there's anything else we need to know. Anything else group 3 needs to know about their love life? Ooh, okay. We have stay optimistic, positive thinking. So don't let yourself get down. Don't let yourself like get upset about this, because it's going to happen. And your feelings are real and worth exploring. So just validating that you are worth finding this beautiful love that's making its way into your life. And I guess let me try and use the original deck here to get a timeline. Can we get a timeline of when this person is going to kind of, enter group 3's life? Let's see here. Both of these flew out at the same time. Okay, so swords, interesting. Okay, so I would say it's going to happen like fairly quickly, depending on other life factors. but I would say that it's probably coming within the next like 1 to 9 months. But what's interesting is I think it could happen quicker. Swords are generally pretty quick. Okay, this one just came out. So pretty quickly, I think though, like the faster it happens, like the more anxiety you might have about it. So don't let yourself, like don't get in your head about it, essentially. And don't think too hard about it, like kind of let yourself go in blind, because I think if you think too hard about it, then you're just gonna like not enjoy the process. So enjoy the process, group number 3. I'm so excited to see what happens for you this October with your love life, clearly. And just things seem to like they're going really well and they're really balanced for your career, and you're kind of leveling up. And also that travel, keep me updated. If you're taking any fun trips, please feel free to post them in the comments. I can see where you guys are going. Please give this video a like and come back for more videos. And I can't wait to see what happens. Thanks for letting me do this reading, group number 3. Bye.